In the following example, a vessel will turn off its automatic identification system and replace it by using generated false signals. The vessel will try to hide itself behind these fake signals in order to obfuscate a meeting at sea. When approaching his meeting point, the vessel switches off its automatic identification system and disappears from monitoring systems. As this vessel gets closer to its meeting point, it emits several signals of fake vessels. These signals will confuse operators and the vessel will hide among them.
I'm gonna send a message via CISE. This is without AIS transmission error. I just observed it, and it is an anomaly.
Emitting realistic fake signals is difficult, and several cases may happen. First, a fake vessel identity might really exist in another location. In this case, as the fake vessel's automatic identification system signals raises alerts by having suddenly appeared, the operator asks for information using the CISE exchange environment. One of these signals happens to be a real vessel currently navigating far away in Greek waters. The Hellenic Coast Guard returns this information. Another case is that a fake signal, in our case a fake fishing boat, might head into restricted zones. As the false fishing boat enters a restricted Natura 2000 zone, this automatically raises an alert notifying the operator. When there is such a confusion, an operator may use images for help. This can be done by sending a patrol boat, a helicopter, or in our case, requesting a satellite. At some point, the spoofer will stop emitting fake signals. All fake vessels will either suddenly or progressively disappear from the monitoring systems, raising alerts again. Later, the vessel will restore its original automatic positioning system, reappearing on monitoring systems. Again, this will generate an alert. Later, when the satellite imagery report arrives and is processed automatically by the system, the operator is aware that most vessel signals correspond to vessels that did not exist, and narrowing down the only visible vessels on the imagery report, the vessel responsible for the spoofing can be identified, and authorities thus be alerted. In this event, a vessel comes from the west, leaving France and navigates east. Another vessel coming from the south will come to meet the first vessel. Such meetings, sometimes necessary, are surveyed as some might cover illegal activities. The vessel coming from the south, upon reaching the other vessel, turns sharply east and both vessels navigate side by side for some time. The vessels being very close, trigger an alarm notifying the operator. In order to have more information, the operator requests a satellite image on the area where the vessels seems to have a meeting. After some time, the vessels move away from each other. An alert notifies the operator of the end of a possible meeting. The operator now awaits the satellite data that could confirm a meeting at sea. The satellite observation report confirms that the situation was a meeting. Using the CISE network, the operator sends an alert to the operators of the country of origin of the vessels that had the meeting, as well as European agencies.
The added value of EFFECTOR in this case is to facilitate the search for information related to fake signals. Possible fake signals can also be corroborated with the exchange of information with other authorities or agencies.
In this event, one of the vessels will enter a protected area. Within maritime protected areas, the presence of some specific vessels may be seen as not normal, and operators should be alerted. The added value of EFFECTOR in this case is the facility to propagate the alert using the CISE network to other partners. On one side, this will alert other operators from other member states, providing them with this information. On another side, this will generate an entry in the data system that later will be used for statistics, but also for further reports. As a complementary means of detection, the operator can also request satellite imagery for detecting the vessel while it entered the restricted zone. In the end, the imagery will detect that no vessel entered the restricted zone and that the position was a fake signal.
The added value of EFFECTOR in this case is that the operator can know easily if a vessel enters a protected zone thanks to the associated alerts generated automatically. The raised alerts are also recorded and can be analyzed with artificial intelligence module. Finally, the alert can be propagated to other partners using the CZ networks. This facilitates the communication and the interoperabilities between partners.
So for us at Lagarde MRCC, the EFFECTOR project represents a true improvement for our surveillance capacities and therefore for global maritime security at sea. In the near future, in fact, with the increase of the commercial and pleasure navigation, especially in the Mediterranean Sea, the scope of our navigation surveillance mission is going to be drastically widened, and it will be a lot more difficult to continue to do what we do today with only human operators. Indeed, today we have to maintain a permanent watch of the vessels entering the French territorial waters using different radar and AIS data, and then we have to check manually the information specific to each commercial ship in the different national, European or international databases. I see therefore mainly two big improvements with the EFFECTOR capabilities. The first improvement is that it will connect us directly via the CZ link to different national or European authorities, for example the Greek MRCC or the Frontex agency. Then the second benefit of the EFFECTOR system is that it will allow us to detect automatically suspicious or abnormal behaviors of vessels. It will help to improve maritime security by preventing collision or grounding, for example, but it will also help the French authorities to fight against illegal pollution or illegal activities more globally in the French territorial waters or in the French economic exclusive zone.
So this is the end of the presentation of the second French trials that took place in Toulon on the 11th and 12th of May 2022. From what we have done, I think it's important to keep in mind two things. The first one is that thanks to EFFECTOR and CZ, the French MRCC was able to exchange valuable information with other maritime authorities directly from its systems without any additional screen or IT systems. And this is a remarkable step forward and very promising for maritime surveillance. For the French trial, we tested this interconnection from the French MRCC, but actually every other maritime or operational centers could benefit from this interoperability framework. The second bottom line is that thanks to the data lake and the associated analytics developed during EFFECTOR, the project demonstrated its capacity to detect weak signals and to alert accordingly the French MRCC operator for timely decisions. This capability to detect weak signals and gather pieces of information coming from a large number and a range of resources is also unique and is a major result of the EFFECTOR project.